नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिमु अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़क़द क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़ी कलामिहिल मजीद अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम वल्लज़ीना आमनू अशद्दु हुब्बन लिल्लाह क़ाल अल्लाहु तबारक व तआला फ़ी मक़ामिन आख़र इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि व बारिक व सल्लिम. By the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have had the honor of reciting a verse from the chapter Al-Baqarah, verse number 165. As our topic is the Fareedi message of love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the light of teachings. So before discussing this topic, we would like to go to understand the most authentic commentaries made by our great scholars. So first of all, I would like to put before you some translations of the recited verse. So according to M. Pickthall, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ, and those who believe are stauncher in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And according to the Asad translation, it is, whereas those who have attained to faith love God more than all else. And the English translation of Kanjoo Iman, the Trial of Faith, that has been made by Professor Fareedi. He says, and the believers love not anyone equal to that of Allah. And three more translations I have from the disbelievers, from the Orientalists. Among those, J.M. Rodwell, John Meadows Rodwell, he says, but stronger in the faithful is the love of God. And Arthur John Arbery, he says, but those that believe love God more ardently. And Edward Henry Palmer says, those who believe love God more. And my brothers, I think a very ecstatic translation and a very fascinating translation I have. It is from a Muslim scholar, Abdul Yusuf Ali. He says, but those of faith are overflowing in their love for God. So, as we are about to understand the love that has been discussed by our Khaja Ghulam Fareed rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, may Allah's mercy be upon him. So to understand the same speech, the speech of Khaja Ghulam Fareed, may Allah's mercy be upon him, we have to turn to the most authentic commentaries. And I think that it seems that the love found in the speech of Khaja Ghulam Fareed, may Allah's mercy be upon him, it seems that it has been extracted and it has been derived from these commentaries. So according to Imam Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari, in his commentary Jami' al-Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran, and Abul Hasan Ali bin Habib al-Mawardi, in his commentary An-Nukat wal-Uyun, and a very great scholar, Muslim scholar, Allama ibn al-Jawzi, Abdul Rahman bin Ali, Allama ibn al-Jawzi, in his commentary Zad al-Masir fi ilm al-Tafsir. So all these three say same. So they say وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ يعني من حب أهل الأوثان لأوثانهم, that the believers are stronger and stauncher or overflowing in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يعني من حب أهل الأوثان لأوثانهم, that means that they are stronger in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are stronger than the love of the idolaters for their idols. They are stronger in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Tafsir al-Kashaf, a very famous scholar, Mahmud bin Umar az-Zamakhshari, says, أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ, that they are stronger in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لِأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْدِلُونَ عَنْهُ إِلَىٰ غَيْرِهِ, because they make equals to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none and nothing else. And Imam Bazawi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi says in his most famous commentary, Anwar al-Tanzil wa Asrar al-Ta'wil, he says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ, and those who believe are stronger in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لِأَنَّهُ لَا تَنْقَطِعُ مَحَبَّتُهُمْ لِلَّهِ تَعَالَى, because their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never ceases. It never discontinues. It has no discontinuity. It continues. Their muhabbat, their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it never stops. بِخِلَافِ مَحَبَّةِ الْأَنْدَادِ, contrary to that of the love of the idolaters for their love, for their idols, for their self-made deities, or for the self-made rivals to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, compeers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِنَّهَا لِأَغْرَادٍ فَاسِدَةٍ مَوْهُومَةٍ, because their love for their idols, for their self-made deities, their love لِأَغْرَادٍ فَاسِدَةٍ مَوْهُومَةٍ, it is only for the superstitious vain desires. It is only تَزُولُ بِأَدْنَا سَبَبٍ, that vanishes, that disappears, بِأَدْنَا سَبَبٍ, for a very trifling thing, a very little reason, for a very little cause, it disappears, it vanishes. And Allama Ahmad bin Muhammad Ashrawi, may Allah's mercy be upon him, he has made a marginal note on the famous Tafsir al-Jalalain. He says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ, and those who believe are stronger in their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَيْ إِنْ فَرَدَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَحَبَّةِ اللَّهِ, that means that the believers isolate themselves with their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They withdraw themselves with their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for new information, maybe it is for you. So in farad al-mu'minun, in farad, actually it has been taken from the pattern infi'al, bab infi'al. There is an intransitive verb. The pattern infi'al, it is actually intransitive verb, and it has in it intransitiveness. So it means in farad al-mu'minun, and the word infarada and the word fareed, so both have the same root, the same roots, fa, ra and dal. Infarada. And fareed means unique. Fareed means waheed. Fareed means peerless, matchless. And Allama Ahmad bin Muhammad al-Sawi rahmatullahi ta'ala says that in farad al-mu'minun, that the believers, in farad, as I have discussed before, that it has been taken from the pattern infi'al. So in Farad al-Mu'minun, the believers become, because in Fa'ala means to become, in Farada to become Fard, to become unique, to become peerless, matchless, to become Lasani. So in Farad al-Mu'minun, the believers become Fareed. All the believers, they become Fareed bi muhabbatillah, with their love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They isolate themselves. That's why I think our Khaja says, the hik, hik, hik. There is only one. There is only one. There is only one. And hik di hardam sikhe. I have the sikh. I have the real love, the keen love, the extreme love for only the one. I have the love only for the one. Hik di hardam sikhe. And then he says, Amma mahabbatu misli al-anbiya'i wal-awliya'i famin al-mahabbati lillah. And as far as their love for the prophets or for the near ones of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is concerned, then he says that فَمِنَ الْمَحَبَّةِ اللَّهِ ta'ala. So this love, their love for the prophets or love for the near ones, love for awliya, love for the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَمِنَ الْمَحَبَّةِ اللَّهِ ta'ala. This love is also, this love can also be claimed as the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It cannot be separated. The love for the prophets cannot be separated from the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It cannot be separated from the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love of the prophets of the near ones of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their love cannot be separated from the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.